Who's that guy in that old shirt? Who must be the fence expert? Who's that guy in that old shirt? Who must be the fence expert? Time to talk about the fences. It's time to discuss operations and expenses. It's time, it's really time to elevate small businesses. It's time for Joe to drop his knowledge. It's relentless. This rhyme of mine is getting a bit ridiculous. Here we go. We're live with Joe. Enjoy the show.
Guys, we've got another great interview for you. Rather than introduce him and then bring him up, but you guys know him, the one, the only, Caleb Roth. Caleb, how are you?
Hey, I'm great. Thanks for having me today, Joe. It's been a little while since I've seen you.
I know. It's time for an update. So, guys watching at home, I'm going to give you a little bit of roadmap. We're going to try doing this like a professional, like real show. We're going to talk about Gopherwood. We're going to talk about Stain Distributors, an update on Stain Distributors, also a franchise update. And if you stick around to the end, we've got a surprise update waiting for you back there.
Nice. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let's start talking about Gopherwood. How's Gopherwood going?
It's good. It's pre-stained lumber, so many of you already know that. But yeah, we're getting a ton of demand for it and still just trying to build the distribution base. It's kind of, I would say, southeast and northeast, and then some mid south. You know, we've not made it. we've made it to the Mississippi River, kind of. If that makes sense. So there go my lights. And so Gopherwood is it's actually surprising. We're getting calls for a lot more SKUs. We started out pickets, post, and 2x4s, and now we're getting 2x6s, 1x4s, things like that. Some tongue and groove stuff. And so it's exciting. It's exciting. You know, the craziest thing is, I may have told the story before, but we were up in Virginia on a job site, just checking out with one of our customers. They're building a Gopherwood fence. The lady across the street's got her fence contractor there, and she walks over, and she had just bought a vinyl fence and paid her deposit. And she walks across the street and she says, "I don't want vinyl. I want this." Mm-hmm. And her fence contractor said, "Well, I don't do this." And she said, "Well, I want my money back." And then she booked a Gopherwood job with our guy there in Virginia. So it was pretty cool. It's pretty crazy. But I've always heard, you know, there's some pretty heavy market research on wood versus composites, and key words being well-maintained wood.
Yeah.
People prefer well-maintained wood, like 5-to-1 over composites or vinyl. So it makes sense. It's a natural product. It looks natural. It looks beautiful. So,
well, and let's dive into Gopherwood for just a minute. I mean, there's probably some people here that maybe haven't caught the episodes prior. Mm-hmm. Maybe an overview. What is Gopherwood?
Yeah, so Gopherwood is kind of the answer to the fence guy who wants to offer stained wood, upsell that and add that value to their customer, because the number one reason for callbacks in fencing is generally warping, cracking, and twisting. And so you build a new fence, and 6 weeks later, you build a new fence, the homeowner loves it. 6 weeks later, they hate it because, hey, it warped, it cracked, the gates, twisted. And what can we as contractors do about that? It's like, we can go broke and replace everything, or we can have a, wood is a natural product clause. And so Gopherwood, the answer to that is we can give you lumber material that's cedar, it's kiln dried. So, and then it's stained with an oil-based stain. So it's going to penetrate into the wood, stop warping, cracking, twisting. It's going to be pre-swollen because the stain's in the wood. It's not going to swell up on you. And then I kind of laugh when I say this, nothing's cooler than putting up a fence that's already stained. So absolutely. It's a great answer for people who don't have the setup or the crew or the ability or the want to go out and stain one in the field. So putting it up already done.
And I tell you who else is good for is a contractor that maybe has a pre-staining operation but is out of space, and his guys are tired of getting dirty, and but they still want to offer pre-stain. Yeah. If this sounds like a very specific example, it is. So Caleb, you and I had a conversation a few weeks ago. We're running out of space. The warehouse that we use for pre-stain, the guy said, "Boy, it sure would be nice to use that for, something else." And also, we're tired of getting, we're tired of getting dirty. We're messing up our uniforms. So, we're going to start bringing in Gopherwood. Actually, and what I talked to you about this right before we started recording, we sold our first Gopherwood job. So that's happening. We're bringing in a load of it. Because again, it makes so much more sense. We still want to offer pre-stained cedar, but we don't want to allocate that much space to the pre-staining operation. Now, your staining operation is still covering 6 surfaces. It's still using the oil-based stain. So we get all of the benefits without having to dedicate, 15, 20,000 square foot to just the staining operation.
You get to take advantage of scale too. We're doing it dedicated, dedicated facility doing it and machinery doing it. So we're a little more efficient. So there's a price advantage as well, usually.
Well, and there's a speed advantage, right? We were talking about it, and just the turnaround time is really quick. And I'll be honest, is quicker than if I had a truckload worth of business come in. I couldn't get it stained in a matter of a couple of weeks. Now, this is as of we're talking right now, but it sounds like that's within the realm of possibility depending on where it's going.
We stock multiple truckloads in stock of all SKUs. So, we've got it sitting here. We turn it, but it's always ready to go. So if you want something custom colored, we can do custom color as well. Give us a little time for that, but yeah, we can do it.
Well, and let's talk about color. So it's pecan?
Standard color is chestnut. I don't have a piece of it laying around here. But standard color is chestnut. But we've done grays, we've done blacks. We just sent one to Brooklyn, a load to Brooklyn, New York, of all places, in Auburn. So it's an orange fence, and so that's pretty cool. But redwood, a lot of redwood, good stuff.
Okay, all right. Well, so guys, if you're guys that are watching, continue watching, because what I'd like to show you guys is kind of the whole process start to finish, what a truckload looks like coming in. And so one of the questions you answered for me when we were on the phone call is, because I was trying to think, how do we keep this stuff out of the sun, right? Like, are we trading the pre-stain operation, but we're still going to have to stack it indoors to keep the sun off of it? It comes packaged up. It comes pre-packaged to us.
Well, it is wood. So, I mean, if you leave it outside forever and it gets wet and wet and wet, you could have some dark boards or whatever, just like pine where cedar would be dark, and put it up, it'll dry out for you. But I mean, lumber's always best stored indoors. So build you a 50,000 square foot, addition if you can, but if you can't, move it.
Absolutely. So I'll show you guys what it looks like coming in. We'll open it up here on the lot, on the ground, but better yet, take you guys and show you guys what it looks like going up. I think that would be a great opportunity for you guys at home to see what the product is, what it looks like, what our guys' impression on what it feels like, that sort of thing. Give you guys a little bit more in-depth view of it. And I guess since we're talking about distributors, it sounds like we're going to help you maybe cross the Mississippi over here.
Yeah, that's going to be really exciting for us. There's a lot of call. We've actually had call for Gopherwood in Springfield, oddly enough. So I can't remember who it was, but he didn't get any.
We'll find it.
Maybe he will get some soon. But so if you want Gopherwood, just ask your distributor, your wholesaler, your fence supplier about it. We will do everything we can to make it available for you there. Absolutely.
We're excited to carry it for sure. Our guys are really excited not to have to stain anymore, but still offer pre-stain. So it's a win-win. The customer still gets a great pre-stain product with a great stain in it. So it's a win-win all across. If you guys are in a market that isn't served by Gopherwood, I mean, as a company owner, I would highly suggest you reach out to Caleb and the team for sure.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
So it goes hand in hand. So we're talking about Gopherwood distributors. Let's talk about stain distributors as well. That was kind of a question on our guys' mind. So hey, well, we're still going to sell stain, right? Like, well, of course. Those are two different sides of the business. We're still bringing in pallets of 5-gallon bucket. Actually, we had a guy come in yesterday, ordered through you guys through the website, but he was just a couple buckets short. The deck he was working on was really thirsty and came through. And it was the reason I had pecan on my mind is he came in looking for pecan. So also a great opportunity for sales is stain distributors as well.
For sure. And if it's on the ground, people will buy it. They need to know where it's at. And we do have a dealer locator on expertwoodcare.com. You can see the dealers. There's more popping up every day. So super exciting. But guys tend to, I guess 90% of all stains sold in the world come probably through Home Depot, Lowe's, places like that, where people know they can go get something. And so if we can get the message out that, hey, we've got it here or there, people will come.
Absolutely. And I feel like the contractors know. Really, it's probably more the DIY crowd that may still be leaning towards a big box store stain. I think the contractors are pretty familiar with the quality that's available and the price point it's available at to understand this is a little bit better value. Not a little bit. This is quite a bit better value than what you would find at a big box store.
Mm-hmm.
So are there still, I would assume there's still stain distributors available as well, or just distributors?
Oh, absolutely. We want more and more of them. We would love to be in more fence suppliers. It's a lot of the big ones, that are, I guess, not privately owned. They're it's a big operation to get a product brought in. You got to talk to a lot of people. So we're working those. But if you know of a regional or a local fence supply house that's locally owned, we can probably move a lot faster on those, and would love to. Anybody listening who's got a fence supply house, we'd love to work with you.
Well, the thing we like about it is it doesn't take a ton of space up either. If we're used to bringing in, a truckload of pipe or a truckload of wire or a truckload of fittings, they take up a lot of space. I mean, you can bring in a stocking order of stain and not be at like a truckload style quantity. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to buy a truckload, that's great. But a pallet, 2 pallets, 3 pallets is generally enough to supply your demand, and you keep your top 2 or 3 colors in stock, and then anything you need special, we'll get it to you in 2 days. So
that's what I was going to ask you, if that was kind of normal. It's what we do. We'll stock 3, kind of a light, a medium, and a dark. And really anything else, like to your point, we can have in a couple days, so we don't typically stock it. Is that normal?
What we try to do at Expert is we try to give really aggressive pricing on stock it. inventory orders, because we know we're going to get shelf space for that. We know you're going to hold it. You're taking a chance. You're risking. But if you need to order something quick, you need one bucket of a weird gray color. It's just a little less margin, but we throw the shipping in. We're just going to ship it and basically give you the same price minus shipping. So,
and it's fast shipping too. I remember we were in a bind and we needed a pallet of stain, and that thing showed up lickety split. I remember calling you. I was like, or I sent you a picture.
Yeah, you said like, next day.
How is this here? You're like, hey, you're welcome.
We have a great logistics department, so we move things quickly, and then we have good partners on our carriers. I think maybe Dayton Freight was the one that sent that to you. And
it was Dayton.
Yeah, we know the lines, and we know who to use for what area, and they usually land it pretty darn quick.
Well, I tell you what, we had told our customer, it was a retail sale. We had told them, hey, 2, 3, 4 days, give us a little bit of time. So when I was able to pick up the phone to them the next day and say, hey, come pick it up or we can bring it to you.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't even ready for it. Like, well, I mean, is your job ready? Yeah. Well, would you like to come pick it up, or you want us to bring it to you at the job? It made our customer incredibly happy. So it makes a difference all the way down the line.
Well, I will relay that to the team. I'm sure they'll be glad to hear it.
Please do. Please do. I mean, I was incredibly shocked. My customer was incredibly shocked. I'm sure their customer.
Well, we know that you can't, earn revenue for your business without a product to sell or a product to install. So it's our job to get it to you when you need it.
It's true. It's true. Yeah. You guys are a great partner. I mean, I've said thank you to you guys a lot, but I'll continue to show my appreciation just because you guys make it easy for us to sell the product, which is refreshing sometimes that there's not a lot of barriers to sales here.
Well, I think you should sell more on ozarkfencesupply.com, because you would be surprised how many people call about this orange guy, this orange fence guy. I think so Linden, Tennessee is far away from us. It's a couple hours, but we don't sell over the counter sales. We're a manufacturer, but somebody literally showed up at our place from Linden, Tennessee with like 3 or 4 kids, a family. And they were like, we watched a YouTube video. We saw this guy in orange, and we're here to buy stain. And we were like, well, I guess we'll sell it to you.
All right. Welcome in. Go. Yeah. Well, I mean, shameless plug, guys. It is available. ozfence.store has all of the stain available. and it can ship direct. That's kind of the nice thing there too, is it can ship direct to you guys. So when we're talking about 2-day shipping, like it's available, I mean, within reason, but yeah, it is available for sure. Caleb, one thing we touched on a little bit last time that I'm still kind of really interested to hear about is you guys are franchising the service side. Is that right?
Yeah, we're building up basically a big group of guys that are going to open Stain and Seal Experts locations in 2026. So super excited about that and looking forward to it. I think there's a couple guys who want to brave it and open up in the third quarter, for late third quarter, early fourth quarter, which is okay. Fill your books, but that's it. There's still time to get in on that, and we're looking for the right people. We're partnering with people who follow our same kind of values and want to be the rising tide that raises all the ships in their market. We know that when we came to started staining in Nashville, the market was kind of I don't want to say untapped, because that sounds like we're tapping into something, but the market was undeveloped, and many markets are that way. And what we've found is that by us coming in and kind of leading the way on that, it rose a lot of other people that come into it too. And so when I first started staining in Nashville, there was nobody staining. We were the only game in town. And now we've probably got 30 or 40 competitors that are some of them are pretty scary for us. It's like, hey man, you got to watch this guy. But that's a good thing. And it hasn't affected us, and the market's good and everybody's doing it. One guy we helped get started, he's got a cyber truck now with his wrap on it. And I think that's the coolest thing. We've got 2 guys here in Nashville, 2 different companies that we really helped get up and going. 2 of them, one's driving a Tesla car, one's driving a Tesla truck for their sales vehicle. And I just think, hey man, that's great. We're helping, because that was the whole idea for me, is like, I got in the stain business because I wanted to take control of my situation. I wanted to be the master of my destiny, and to help and see other people to be able to do that with whatever it is. If it's junk removal or staining or fence building, plumbing business, to be able to do that's a big deal for people that didn't come from anything like me, And so I think that's the kind of people we're looking for, people who aren't there to undercut and scalp the markets. We want people that are going to raise the markets up. So if that fits you, maybe you want to partner with us.
Well, and yeah, absolutely. And it sounds like one of the benefits of the franchise is they're really getting handed the playbook that you guys developed over all the years, right? Is you guys spent, blood, sweat, and tears refining this process to a point to where the business operates at a very high level consistently. It runs day in, day out. And you're taking that playbook and you're handing it to somebody that also wants to provide that in their market.
Well, when I first started, I started the Stain and Seal Experts podcast as an attempt to contact experts who had been doing it for 20 years and find out what they knew. And there was, we didn't know what any of the wood cleaning chemicals were. We didn't know anything. There was no knowledge. It was like secret knowledge of how to do wood care, how to do staining, how to do all this stuff. And so basically we're just putting together something that I wish I had available when I first started, because if I had that, I'd probably be, way further along than we are now. So I think that's the idea. Is we don't have all the answers, but we've got a good track record of what works and what doesn't work. We know how to produce jobs. We know how to sell them. We got the branding. And so I think that's important when you start from scratch. It's hard. It's tough. And you meet a lot of people that say, I don't want to lift anything anymore. I don't want to do the lift. I want to go and operate because, and I think that's a big benefit for a lot of people.
Of course. Well, and you guys have found all the potholes in the road, or at least a lot of them.
We patched them. Yeah.
And you've patched them, and you've kind of created a roadmap to success, right? To say, hey guys, this is what it's going to look like. Here's you starting, here's you scaling, here's you operating a business, owning and operating a business instead of working in a job.
Yeah, I'd really love to do the TV show where they drop me off with $100 in a random city and they give me 90 days to build a $1 million stain business. I think that'd be so cool.
Well, and that's really what you're offering, right? Is like, hey, here's an opportunity. There is building involved, right? Like I don't want anybody to hear this and hear it's just kind of a flip a switch and it's already up and running.
It's kind of like a blueprint. You still got to build the house, but you got plans. It's a lot easier to build a house with plans than a house without plans.
You bet. And it's a protected market too. That's another benefit of it. Is that right?
Yeah.
Nice.
350 to 500,000 households per territory. So it's pretty strong. I think a lot of the painting franchises are like 100,000 households now, some even smaller. So trying to give you a market that you can really bite into and make something happen with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so Springfield, Missouri Metro's in that 350-ish range.
Yep.
So you could really come in and own an entire market, depending on where you live in the market that you
in some markets, it makes sense to split them because it's like, hey, like Nashville, I think we can do 12 markets in Nashville. Nashville's just big enough that, it's like if you spread too thin, then you can't penetrate. And so we want, if like Franklin, Williamson County, everybody knows that it's one of the highest income counties in the country. Like there probably needs to be just a single location there because there's enough that you could really, really dig in there and do something good with it.
Absolutely. So on something like that, you're looking for somebody with experience. Is experience required, like in the staining industry?
I would say that staining industry experience is okay, but it's probably not. The problem is it's when you're set in your ways, it's difficult to break your ways. And so if you come from the industry and we say, hey, this way right here really works, but you've been doing it another way for 20 years, you may not see the growth. But what we see is the people that are coming in from different industries that have service experience, that have some kind of business experience. They understand what the lift is, but they're not so concerned with the actual what the business is. It's like it could be any business. The principles are the same. So if we find people from outside the industry, they seem like they have the ability to scale much, much faster.
Gotcha. And that's really what I was wondering is, can someone from outside the industry come in and become successful?
Yeah. And so if you're in the industry and you're wanting to do this, the thing to do is to say, then look at everything with it's a fresh set of eyes, and maybe go out on a limb a little bit and try what we're talking about here because it works.
Gotcha. Very good. Now, we promised the people if they waited to the end, they'd get a surprise update. And it might not be a surprise because I've been seeing little teasers out there. But the expert professional wood care, when we're talking about stain, has a whole new product line offering.
Yeah, we've got a lot of new products that are coming. I'll start with the first one that is on the shelf and launched, and we've already sold some. It's fence and barn paint. You can paint a barn with it, but fence painters is really who it's geared towards.
Okay.
But we've got a black fence paint. It's a latex acrylic. It's 100% latex acrylic. It's 50 grams. It's quite a bit less than 50 grams a liter on the VOC.
Okay.
And 5-6 years of coverage. We've been painting fences for a long time. We just didn't think it was something that the public wanted, but we got a lot of calls and we sent out a bunch of test batches to people and they were like, we love it. And we have brown, red, green, and white coming, but we just launching. We've only got so much warehouse, so we're starting with black. It's the most popular color.
Well, and so let's be very particular. So this is a paint.
This is a paint.
The other conversations we've had in the past are talking about stains and different transparency levels of stain. This is a paint.
Yeah. So, if you have a mile or 17 miles of fence that's been painted 6 times already, you're not going to pay to strip it. You can't stain it. You got to paint it. And so that's a big market for a lot of people, particularly us in Tennessee, Kentucky. It's really big there. And so painting is the market. People give you an example. You can paint, let's just say you got 10,000 feet of fence. It might be $3 or $4 a linear foot to stain it. You can get down pretty aggressive and be way less than half that to paint it. The paint is just cheaper,
Okay.
And so we don't have an oil base; we have a water base there. So for the paint, so you can be a lot more cost effective and offer a product that really holds up well and works good for its intended purpose.
And it's probably still the standard prep that you would do that you're already doing if you're staining already.
If there's a bunch of stuff peeling off, you probably better wash it or wire brush it or something,
Yeah.
But it'd go right over top of other coatings. It'll go over top of oil. It'll go over top of water.
Okay.
Yeah.
And black's the color now.
Yep.
More colors to come.
Yep. And this paint is designed to move with the wood. So if you're worried about cracking, splitting, warping, wood expanding and contracting, it is flexible. So it will hold up to that, because a lot of people will use like a certain types of paint that aren't designed to do that. You put it on a fence, the fence warps, not necessarily warps, but expands and contracts, and the paint cracks, and then it begins to peel. And so we're not running into any issues with things like that.
Very good. Very good.
It's a necessity.
It is, and it's something like during Staining University that would come up occasionally, right? Talking about people that had painting projects, and so it sounds like, both through your personal experience, but also listening to those kind of requests brought this out.
Yeah. And speaking of Staining University, I probably shouldn't open my mouth, but it looks like we've got one we're about to schedule. We'll get that scheduled and make that announcent soon, but keep your ear to the train tracks. And
you've heard it here first, for better or worse. Caleb might be in hot water when he gets home for releasing this early, but
it was the team's idea. It wasn't, we pulled the reins back on university this year, just because I was like, hey, we got a lot of irons in the fire. We're moving. And the team said, hey, we want to do it. I was like, okay, your idea, not mine. Let's go. I'm all for it. So it's exciting.
I'll tell you, I loved Staining University. Loved it because I got to be with fence guys, but also I got to be with stain guys. And they're a lot alike. There's some differences, but
men who work outside with their hands are good people. Don't matter what they do. Yeah.
Yep. It's a great industry to be in, man. It really, really is. But so we'll stay tuned for more announcements there.
Yeah. Exciting times.
You had mentioned earlier, maybe there's some more like announcements coming down the road. Is that what you're thinking of, or is there anything else?
We've got some new cleaners coming out. Cleaning. The wood industry has been kind of a 2-step cleaning process. You clean, you wash, you brighten, and you rinse, and that is standard. And I'm just thinking, man, that's like, what if we only just cleaned and rinsed and we walked away? That would increase our speed by 100%. Be twice as fast. And so we've got some really cool products coming out that will do that, both on the cleaning side with the EPA Safer Choice product. So we're waiting on all that certifications to come back. We know we're going to get it.
Yeah.
So that's super exciting. Safe to use around waterways. You can use it anywhere. You can get it on your skin. because a lot of cleaners are caustic. And so we're trying to get rid of that stuff because, our main goal with Expert is to started this company because I had reactions to other products. And so our goal is to, as technology becomes available, to make it to where our products are the safest in the world. So we're working on that. And then we've got, you may have seen it, we've got a new stripper out. It's not a caustic stripper.
Yeah.
You shouldn't get it on your skin, but you can.
Sure.
It doesn't burn you. It doesn't do things like that. And it works really well with no brightener needed. So you just put it on. And our feedback right now is it's the best stripper anybody's ever used. And these are some guys that strip a lot of stuff. So really excited. There's actually a batch making right now that's why I was late to this interview, because I'm heavily involved in those R&D things. So anyways, so that's exciting. And there's been a lot of good feedback, and I think it'll move the industry forward and make our jobs easier on the ground.
Well, Caleb, it sounds like you guys are leading from the front, right? Being the guys
we're listening to people, and we have the same struggles everybody else has. So we've got to move forward. If we don't move forward, we're going back.
Well, and I think that's one of your guys' superpowers, right? Is that you are on the service side still. So you do still have the daily struggles, those intimately, and you're able to develop products in-house that serve for those or solve for those struggles in kind of a real world application in real time.
Yeah, well, that's the way we developed the stain. We went out and used it, and we tweaked it, and we used it, and we tweaked it. And then once we got it, we said, that's it, don't touch it. And then the same thing happens with other stuff, but now we have the ability to say, hey, we got a new stripper. I'm going to send it out to 10 of my best guys, and then we're going to use it ourselves. And then we're going to get, the feedback loops much faster.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're able to do that, and it's helpful. And I think our customers like being a part of that development, because they get their voice heard. It's like, hey, it would be better if it did this. Well, let's make it happen.
Let's just do that then.
Kind of odd that's outside the box thinking, isn't it?
Well, and so guys, if you're listening to this, if you haven't tried anything from the Expert Professional Wood Care Products line, you absolutely should. So let's talk about this for a second. So you guys sponsored the show, and I am incredibly thankful for that. But I've been a customer longer than you guys have been a sponsor, right? Mm-hmm. And I became a customer because I tried other products out there, and they didn't align with what I wanted to offer or what I wanted to put our team members in maybe daily contact with. And actually, so it was your podcast. Someone turned me on to your podcast, and I listened to it for a little bit, and I was like, let me at the end of the podcast, you're like, hey, give me a call if you got any questions. I was like, I wonder if that's real. And so, and sure enough, it was real. And you were incredibly helpful and say, yeah, I mean, I hear you. You're probably going through this, and this. Yeah, actually we are. Like, I know we go through that too. So, well, let me send you a sample. Let me let you try it. And it was off to the races from there. So I want to talk to you guys about that, because I think there's some, I don't know. I could see how there would be a thought of, yeah, you're just saying this because they're your sponsors. And I am incredibly thankful for it, but they're sponsors because I was a customer, right? Because I had such a great, track record with Expert. As I said, hey, I really got to introduce you guys to more people. How can I help introduce you guys so that more people can have experiences like my experience? And I honestly, Caleb, feel like my business is better for using your products, and I would like to share that with more people.
Well, we know that you need products when you need it. Yeah. And we know also that guys that are using products every day, you're exposed to it more. If the homeowner stains their deck once every couple years, or they have a contractor out once every couple years, and so there's a little exposure there. And but if you're using something on a daily basis, if you're cutting trees down for a living or working in a sawmill, you're exposed to sawdust every single day, and that may not be a hazard if it's once every 5 years. But if you're doing it every single day, there needs to be certain precautions you take. And so our take was, how can we make our products basically lower VOC? And when you have something that's lower VOC than something that is higher, then obviously, there's a lot less exposure involved. And so that's kind of what got it started. And mainly too, my hands would break out and have rashes all over my body because I get, use products with a lot of solvent in it. So we work very hard to use less of those things. And as technology becomes available, like I said, we'll keep improving.
Absolutely. Guys, if you found any of this helpful or educational, you'd like more information, I strongly advise you to reach out to Caleb's team. Everyone that answers the phone there is genuinely really nice. Which may not be like your experience somewhere else. So I don't know what you guys are doing over there, Caleb, but everyone's really nice and they know exactly what they're talking about.
We hire great people. Everyone here has got a family. They've got experience, maybe a lot of staying experience. Some of them is different experience, but
Sure.
they're good people. And so I think that's important to hire people. I just think of if I were making a school, if I had a private school that was exactly the way I wanted a school to be, who would I want my school teachers to be? And so everybody we have here is somebody that'd be comfortable letting them run a classroom for me. So I think that's important because those people are dealing with your customers and they're a reflection of who you are and who the company is. And if you put up with, you get what you tolerate. So we don't have to tolerate anything because we just hire really, the best people we can find. And so if you're that kind of person, we'd love to work with you.
Well, the team's great to work with from the customer standpoint. I mean, like I said, I legitimately enjoyed interacting. I mean, not necessarily only with yourself, but with the team as a whole. Everyone there is just so nice to talk with, and they're quick to respond, and they've got the answers. Or if they don't have the answers, they're quick to say, "Let me get you the answer."
Yeah, we'll get the answer.
Yeah, which is huge. And what you said earlier is unfortunately that is also kind of outside the box.
Yeah.
Thinking, but regardless, guys, if you got any questions, like I said, please reach out to Caleb or his team. I mean, drop a comment in the comments below. I'm happy to forward those on as well. Help if I can, but likely forward those on for like company specific questions or something like that. Stay tuned in the future, guys. Like I said, for Gopherwood, we're bringing it in. I'd love to show it to you, what it looks like on the ground and also what it looks like going up. I think you guys will be just as impressed as I am. And you should check it out.
Cool, man. Thank you so much for having me on today. And for all the people watching, thank you very much.
Caleb, thank you for making time available. I know making time available in the middle of the day, in the middle of the busy season is tough. And I just want to say I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Well, back to work. No worries. Glad to be here.
All right, guys. For now, Joe Everett, the fence expert,
reminding you
the good fences
make good neighbors.